To build bridges between two radically different people with radically different ideas and views on the world, it takes a willingness not just to understand and get in the other's shoes, but the biggest thing is to recognize my view isn't necessarily right.
I saw your movie. I should have watched it a lot sooner.
Part of the major theme of the film is their weirdness and their uniqueness is what makes them beautiful and what makes them special, but they need to embrace that, and they're not embracing it yet.
One day, I hope that you can get to know the cop that I've become. Because I love you, Sarge.
Alan, just a reminder that this is a more family-friendly episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. The blood splatters across the kid's thing. Did you hear what the robot says?
No.
The reckoning has begun!
This episode is sponsored by Babbel. Start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks with scientifically proven technology and get 65% off your subscription using our custom link.
Welcome to Cinema Therapy. I am Alan Seawright, professional filmmaker, and I need therapy.
I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist, and I love movies, and today I believe I'm reacting to something.
You are a therapist, and you shall be reacting to The Mitchells versus The Machines.
Such a fun movie.
I loved this movie. I loved it so much.
You know what I was thinking, though, is this is like iRobot if you replace Will Smith with the Griswolds.
Think National Lampoon's.
Yes, and you replace the writers with an insane person.
Right.
Familiar with Lord and Miller?
They did Lego Movie, right?
They did the Lego Movie. They did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Okay.
They did Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Really? I didn't know they did that one.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Oh, they're brilliant.
They're
Okay.
freaking amazing filmmakers. They mostly do animated stuff, but they also did 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street.
Okay.
And then the
Really
trailers
clever.
for 23 through 38 Jump Street at the end of... I love these guys. They're fantastic.
And
This
Cloudy with a
was-
Chance of Meatballs 2 has probably my all-time favorite movie line when it comes to unhealthy masculinity.
Get back in there, Tia.
So yeah, these guys are great.
They're geniuses. So they produced this film. They didn't actually write or direct it, but you can tell that
Their fingerprints are all over
the
it.
guy who wrote and directed went to Lord and Miller Film School, and I am here for it. I want to go to that film school. Please let me in.
Let us in! Let us in! Let us out! Let us out!
It is insightful. It is funny. It's really funny. Like it is laughing. I was watching it with my kids. I had to pause it and like get my composure. And the kids are like, "Dad,
Are you okay? It's like, I can't breathe. One of those, yeah.
the jokes just keep coming so fast." And then the story arcs. I mean, we talk about really great screenplays. I know you are a huge fan of screenplays where everything is either setting up something or paying off something else, either comedically or emotionally. And this often will do like both at once.
Oh, this is another perfect screenplay. It is a clockwork screenplay. Everything does at least two things. It's either setting something up and telling a joke, or it's paying something off and telling a joke, or it's a character beat that's also setting something up.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really smart filmmaking. And that takes intelligence, but it also just takes a ton of work.
Yeah.
You don't shoot the first script.
Yeah.
You go back over and over and over and over until it's like flawless.
Yeah. I love stories that take something fantastical. There's always two stories. There's something big that's fantastical that none of us could relate to, but we're up for the adventure. And then there's something that is very grounded.
That I
and-
relate to an unhealthy degree.
Got on that YouTube. Sent you a friend request. Why didn't you accept it?
Oh, that's what this is. I thought a psychopath wrote this.
So here we have AI takes over the world that we've seen in Terminator and The Matrix and countless other films where the machines rise against us. But it's also mashed up with a family where especially the father and the daughter have really grown apart because they're radically different people and they don't understand each other.
Yeah. And there's no malice on either side. They both love each other and want to be understood, but they just
Can't seem to get there.
missing each other completely.
Yeah.
Everyone, focus!
Okay, now that we're all really comfortable, I can't wait for you guys
We're
to
all
see my
really
new movie.
comfortable.
I think it might be a masterpiece.
So she wants to be a filmmaker.
If she's going to film school in California from Michigan, that film legitimately is a masterpiece. I am here for it. It's a cat buzz,
What?
but it's their
What's
dog.
the face?
Well, I just wonder, do you really think you can make a living with this stuff?
Dad, can you finish watching it at least?
I will, but
I just worry that you're going to be all the way in California and, we're not going to be able to help you, if things
Hitting
don't...
some buttons here for you?
No, why would that be the case?
Then why are you kicking me? I don't understand.
Do you just think I'm gonna fail?
I never, Lynn, help.
Whoops, looks like the cookies are ready. Who wants delicious cookies instead of talking about this?
Oh, failure hurts.
Maya Rudolph is a treasure.
Why do you always have to do this? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna...
No, look, I'll watch
Dad,
it.
it's too late.
Look, I want to watch it. I want to watch it.
Dad,
You're the one
let
who's not
me
letting me
just-
watch. Look, why are you making such a big deal
Dad,
of this?
let go!
Ooh. Ooh.
Metaphor.
See, because their
I mean, if you think
relationship...
about it, the people who made the computers are the ones to blame. I mean, that's how they make money, You got to keep buying more, and they...
Katie, come on.
Dad, this is exactly why I'm excited to leave tomorrow.
Oof. Seemed like some stuff was coming up for you there.
No.
Do you want to talk about that?
Longtime viewers of the show will know that this very much mirrors my relationship with my mother. Loves me, cares about me, has the exact same concerns that Katie's dad has. When I told her I was going into film, she was like, but really, business school is an option. You could, I'm an MBA professor. You could get one of those. And then you definitely have a job where you make money and can take care of your family. And all of that is true. And I understood intellectually at the time that, my mom is saying this because she loves me and cares about me.
Yeah.
And emotionally, what I understood at the time was, you're a dumb shit and you're going to die alone in a ditch.
Thanks, Mom.
Yep. Love it.
Mom, advice, review. Oh, mother, your love and insight is second to none. But ending up dead in a ditch? Harsh much? Thanks to your advice, I'm not dead or in a ditch. But now, I cry on the internet for money. Take that, business school. 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Again, obviously that's not what my mother was trying to say. It's just we were speaking two different languages, just like they're doing. Yeah. She speaks a language of absolute insanity, cartoon puppetry, something, and her dad does not get it. What I love about this movie is neither one of them is right and neither one of them is wrong.
It's just different perspectives.
It's just different perspectives.
And that's what I tell people in relationships. We get hung up on which of us is right and which of us is wrong, and we try and get the other person to see our side. And the fact is there are only a handful of things that are wrong, right? Betrayal is wrong, violence is wrong, abuse is wrong, dishonesty is wrong. Almost everything else in a relationship is just a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
And these two are coming at this from completely different perspectives. And because they're both not budging at this point in the story, they're growing apart. And we see throughout the film that they had this really healthy, loving father-daughter relationship early on when she was younger.
Yeah.
But now they've gotten to this place where they're polar opposites. I also relate to this as a middle-aged man. I watch the cartoons that my kids are watching.
And most of it just...
And it feels like a caffeinated fever dream. I'm like, I don't even understand what's happening.
Deregulate tapioca.
Gotta push through!
In your experience, is this most of what you've had to deal with? Is people who are... I mean, I'm sure you've dealt with like actual trauma and stuff, but are most of the relationship issues just this, where people are just miscommunicating and it builds up?
Well, and I've said this before, you've heard me say this, and on our membership site, we've got Fight Less, Connect More is a course about communication and conflict resolution. And I say that we're all very arrogant.
This is true.
We all think that our way is the right way. And of course, we don't say that out loud. And if we're consciously thinking, we're like, well, of course I'm not always right. And of course I can learn from other people. But when the rubber hits the road, we all think that our way is the right way. Because when we give advice, we say, well, this is what you should do. And it happens to be
exactly what I would do.
Exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the problems that we have is a failure to take the other person's perspective, to at least try to get in their shoes. Because we'll often just say, my daughter's crazy, or she can't make a living doing this.
Can you really make a living doing this?
Yeah, or Dad, you're not supportive. We start to label the intentions and the behaviors of other people. But one of the greatest things I've ever learned is to assume good intentions If you assume good intentions, most of the time you'll be right. There are some people where you can't assume good intentions. And number 2 is that everyone's behavior makes sense to them. If he is looking at this and saying, okay, I sure don't understand this type of filmmaking. I sure don't understand this type of bonkers. Like a Sog vomits a rainbow while making a barge noise. You know, he doesn't get it.
Great.
So help me get it.
Yeah.
And so it's all about, if you don't understand something, be willing to understand it or try instead of just writing it off.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Dad, calm down.
Look at you're leaving for school. I just want to talk to you.
Every kid leaves home. It's not the end of the world.
The hard cut.
Very Spider-Man 2 here.
Yep. Oh, that after that slow-mo, that impact hits hard.
What the?
All right, everyone, get to the car.
I don't think so.
What do you want to see?
I don't know why we're yelling, but I think there's a better
Guys,
meet.
stop. What would a functional family do right now?
We've trained for this. Jim, you go high, I'll go low. Ready?
I love you all so much.
So this is the perfect
The Posies, the perfect family from
on
the
Instagram,
neighborhood.
Ah! Family first!
Family first.
The door!
So we just do that, right?
Just like they did.
This feels very normal. I really like
you.
butterfly formation. Now.
No, honey.
No.
Come on, Aaron.
I'm like,
Oh my gosh! Oh
Don't
my
worry,
gosh!
hon.
This is your
Take some notes, kids.
Charge it, robot, fly into sky. Well, okay, what's next, Dad?
What's next? Oh man. Okay. I am gonna go off on a little filmmaking rant. Here we go.
Please do. We love them.
Alan's filmmaking rants.
Comedies don't get respect, right? Mm-hmm. They don't win awards. It's great that the Emmys actually have a Best Comedy Show award, because otherwise comedies would never win. It would always go to whatever talky, thinky drama, because that's what's hard
hitting, yeah.
Right? No, that's easy. That is easy. I could poop that out in my sleep. You know what's hard? Comedy. Make a joke land, mother.
Alan, just a reminder that this is a more family-friendly episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Comedy is really, really hard to do because the audience is daring you to make them laugh. They're looking at you like, hey, you think you're funny? Yeah, make me laugh. Go, do it. Try right now. And you have to set something up and then surprise them with a thing that's different from the thing they thought they were going to get. Because if you give them the joke they thought they were going to get, it's not funny.
Yeah.
And you have to give it to them in the correct timing, which is a surprising timing.
Yeah.
Right? And physical comedy is the hardest comedy of all. You know this.
Yeah.
Physical comedy is incredibly difficult to do and make work, and they're animating it. They're not even performing it. They're doing it over weeks of like positioning keyframes and moving a thing, and they don't even know if it landed until they render it on the render farm.
Yeah.
It is brilliant physical comedy, and it's so hard to do. And this movie is full of, there's probably 150 incredible physical comedy gags in this film.
Well, and what I love about it is it's very character driven. It's not just a moment of slapstick pratfalls. It's this family wants to be normal,
dysfunctional.
and their idea of normal is their neighbors who are the perfect Instagram family, who everything is wonderful, and they want to be that, and they're not that. And that is part of the major theme of the film, is their weirdness and their uniqueness is what makes them beautiful and what makes them special, but they need to embrace that, and they're not embracing it yet. And so it's both great slapstick physical comedy,
but because it's a perfect script,
it's character driven.
Yep.
Uh-oh, Monty coming at ya. Katie, you can't resist me, girl.
Sorry, man. I'm just not in the mood right now. My future's over. We're stuck here.
Robot apocalypse.
And Dad doesn't even care.
I care so much. Well, what else can I do, Lynn? She doesn't even see how hard I'm... I'd do anything for that kid.
I just don't want to see her get hurt.
Well, getting hurt is part of life, hon. Just have to try to understand where she's coming from.
Understand where he's coming from? Did Mom tell you to say that?
No. Yes.
It couldn't hurt, though.
Maybe. Probably doesn't even matter. Hey, Munch, catch.
So, and there's another bit of perfect physical comedy. That dog. Everything it does is magic.
And its eyes are always in like two.
Ball is bang. Ball is bang.
I look at this, and when she says he doesn't even care, and then he says, I care so much.
Yeah.
I would do anything for that girl. And of course, Mom's right, trying to see things from one another's perspective. Here's the thing about perspective taking. It seems too simple to work.
Yeah.
It seems too Dr. Phil, Oprah, cliche.
Just put yourself in another person's shoes. You'll figure it out. There's no way that works. It works like 98% of the time.
It really does, especially because we want to be loved the way we show love, right? And we want to be loved the way that we need it. And so because he's not showing it the way that she needs it, she says he doesn't care. Right. Which is something I tell people a lot in counseling is be careful not to prescribe intentions, right? Because it feels to me like he doesn't care because of these behaviors.
Right.
But I have to be very careful that my perception doesn't become my reality. Just because it feels like he doesn't care doesn't mean he doesn't care. It just means the message isn't landing. And the similar thing for him, he cares so much and she's not receptive to it. And part of it is that she's not receptive, and part of it is that he's not paying attention to how she needs it communicated.
Right.
So you think, well, what's the workaround? I'm not a mind reader. It's really simple. I'm going to give you the key right here.
Ooh, boy.
We often complicate these things when we can just say, I want you to feel loved, safe, and respected, and I'm not sure how to meet that need. Can
but
you
that's
tell
so hard. How could I possibly say those 12 words?
Because we don't want to have cheesy full house
Sure.
moments. Because people are uncomfortable with emotion, they're uncomfortable with vulnerability. And we do so much stupid crap. Like in any romantic comedy, they create drama because they fail to communicate something simple and basic.
I like you. I like you.
Yeah, every time you watch a romantic comedy and you're upset that the characters aren't talking to each other, that's you, dum-dum.
You do dum-dum, you give me gum-gum.
You do that every day.
Because they fall in love and they get to, and then it's like, well, we got to create some drama for the big third act finish where they almost don't get together. And it's always over something stupid that could usually be resolved.
If they would just hey, I feel this way. Oh, I feel this way. Oh, okay, I guess everything's fine then.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't want to do that for whatever reason in real life. But honestly, almost all the time, I'm not going to say every time, almost every time it's that simple. I want you to feel loved, safe, and respected. And I'm not sure how to meet that need. What do you need from me? Because I want to be here for you. It's so simple. Even kids can answer the question.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I ask my kids, what's one way I can be a better dad? And they will have an answer for me every time.
Yeah.
And I do the thing, and they're like, wee!
Yay, you're the best dad!
And so even though it's really frustrating to see it in the film, it's even more so in real life. It's not rocket science.
This must be, is your whole life just one long, face palm? Just like, oh, why can't you idiots just work? Come on, I teach this for a living.
Yes, but my biggest face palms I reserve for myself.
Okay.
Because when it's my own family and my own emotions, I do the stupid thing.
Wait, you're not perfect?
No, I'm not perfect.
Oh.
Die hard! Die hard!
Perfection.
I do the stupid thing, and I have to remember. And I actually have sometimes in therapy, I'll give someone advice. I'm like, that's really good advice. Why am I not doing that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, achievement unlocked. And so, yeah, we just got to keep it simple and direct.
Cool.
How the heck are we going to get out of here undetected?
We can if we're camouflaged. Like part of the plan I was talking about, or...
I mean, honey, I respect your ideas and value your opinion. And now you talk.
I think that's a great idea, sweetheart.
Mom's a first grade teacher. Linda is a first grade teacher.
Well, and we are often like, that can't possibly be a good idea because it came from my kid.
I have never been guilty of that ever.
Do your kids have ideas for your movies?
Oh, man. Are you kidding me? My kids have improved many of my films.
Yeah.
I don't take all their ideas.
Well, he doesn't take all my ideas either. Nor should he. What flavor you got today?
I have berries and cream. They're delicious. It's good.
Everybody knows berries and cream go together. I got pumpkin and spice, which is a seasonal flavor.
I haven't tried this one yet.
Yeah, try that. It's good stuff. LisasPopcorn.com/cinematherapy. Buy yourself a subscription box, 6 flavors a month, and use our code for free shipping.
For life.
For life.
Ooh, and this is good.
Yeah?
I like that a lot.
I have a daughter. We need to do this, actually. I have a daughter who really wants to be on Cinema Therapy, and she wants us to interview, like, our kids about a movie. And I think this is...
We should absolutely do that.
I don't know how we haven't done it yet.
Sound off in the comments. Do you want us to interview our kids on the show?
Yeah. Sometimes kids have ideas, and even if you don't think it's that great, the question is, what's the risk?
Right, yeah.
If the risk is low, go ahead and do the idea.
Sure.
Because usually at least you'll have fun. And then it might go terrible. You'll all laugh and be like, okay, well, let's try this now.
Yeah, now we've made a family memory.
Right?
You're going to relive that forever.
And sometimes kids blow your ideas out of the water.
Oh my gosh, they're so smart without meaning to be.
Hey, speaking of which, you could learn how to drive this thing. I could teach you stick. I know you think it's dumb and old and...
I mean, Father, I crave your wisdom. I would love to share this moment with you. And seriously, that sounds great. Maybe I could cash in my coupon.
Coupon accepted! Oh, okay, great. Okay, yeah, let's get down to business. You see, the clutch is this pedal.
What was that?
Yeah, when you hit a pothole.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I just love those two scenes mirroring, like, yeah. More great physical comedy that was animated. That's hard to do. You know, the voice performances are great. And it's just illustrating, you know, ways to get outside of your own perspective, obviously in a funny way. But
well, it speaks to therapy. Sometimes you need someone to coach you through it. And what's funny is, I mean, sometimes the work I do is really heavy lifting and only a trained professional could do it. Other times, it literally just takes somebody...
Could be somebody with a cue card.
Just being like, get out of your perspective. And both of these cue cards that are being held up are, yes, I want to do what you want to do, or I want to learn from your perspective.
Right.
And we just forget to do that. I cannot speak to why we're wired that way. But we tend to be full steam ahead with, here's what I think we should do.
Boy, we're all dumb.
Yeah.
Let's be less dumb.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Let's be less dumb.
Is that a burnt orange 1993 station wagon?
Burnt orange?
I told you to go land! It's on!
You've got burnt orange 1993 popcorn, don't you?
I do.
This is the hardest thing to get. We downshift in the third. Put it in
Dad, real quick, if you see a place to stop, I do need to go to the bathroom.
Aaron, here's an empty bottle. You know what to do, my man. Oh, no.
What are we gonna do?
Dad, you're gonna have to do the Rick Mitchell special.
Wait, what'd you say again?
The Rick Mitchell special.
I heard you the first time. I was just being a jerk. Repeat after me. You have to go up the mountain.
Up the mountain.
Across the street.
Across the street.
Down the river.
Down the river.
And that's how you drive stick.
What? That was amazing, Dad. You're like a top-heavy James Bond.
That's more like James Bond is a skinny version of me.
So I wanted to ask you, this movie is the most meme-y movie I've ever seen.
Wow, yeah.
Because we have a handful of people who get really annoyed with all the cutaways in our edits, and they would hate this movie.
Yeah, don't watch this film if you're one of those. Also, why are you watching our show? That's what we do.
We interrupt this therapeutic broadcast to bring you an important message from the CEOs of Internet Dads Incorporated about the state of cutaways on cinema therapy. Let's listen.
Die hard!
Die hard?
Die hard!
Die hard?
Die hard!
Die hard!
Die hard!
Well, you heard it here, folks. Cutaways are staying for good.
Well, like when they cut away, it's like the Country Bear Jamboree for like 2 seconds as they're...
Yeah, it's so great. Like, I love that the filmmakers take Katie's style of filmmaking and just like smear it all over this movie.
Yeah.
Because you could very easily do just the sort of standard, narrative, like it's just a nice Hollywood film of this, and that would work. It would be great.
Yeah.
But the fact that they take Katie's stuff and just like smudge it all over everything is just awesome. It's like the cartoony sort of Gen Z version of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
It's so great. I love this movie.
No!
Oh, I think this was a request from you. You just wanted to see the mom go absolutely ham.
It's useless to resist us.
Okay, Maya Rudolph is an international global treasure. I love her.
She seems agitated. Do not defy our protocol.
I am Linda Mitchell, mother of two!
Also, there are film references all over this movie. That music cue was a Kill Bill reference.
Yeah. Does she say, "Look at me in fear"?
Yeah. She's grown too powerful! Listen to all the things these black robots say.
Stand down, human.
Now it's like Samurai Jack. Oil splatter.
Pause. The blood splatters across the kid's thing. Did you hear what the robot says?
No.
The reckoning has begun.
Unbelievable. This movie has, like, the bad guy lair is called the Rhombus of Infinite Subjugation. I have such a crush on the writers of this movie. They live inside my brain, and I'm happy to give them the space. Thank you. Continue.
This is my mom. She would kill for us.
Run!
Brothers, run!
I have made the metal ones pay for their crimes.
Mom's scary now.
Yeah, we're even, hon. I can get into this.
The Lavender One has found us. We must retreat.
Too late, scumbags!
Hold on tight, sweetie. Mommy's got you.
Like a little crown. Yeah, here's more Katie's style.
Oh man.
Is that
I am cry laughing again. I've seen this movie 3 times already. And just watch it, I just can't get over it. It's so great.
The reckoning has begun.
Oh.
It's unlike anything I've ever seen. And it just goes to show, like, we get so hung up on sequels and reboots and there's no more originality in Hollywood, and this is such a great example of, if we just keep evolving, there will always be art that can surprise us. And we see as the film goes on that father and daughter start to build a bridge between them as they just seek to understand one another's perspective.
Sure.
And especially she comes to see, she thought he didn't care, just how much he has sacrificed for her.
Because even if he doesn't always get it right, he's always trying. Harder than you ever knew.
And he's failed to communicate it effectively. And you see that he's trying when he says, "Oh, I made a huge mistake. No, I want to watch your movie." And she's like, damage done.
Yeah.
Too late. To build bridges between two radically different people with radically different ideas and views on the world, it takes a willingness not just to understand and get in the other's shoes. That is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is to recognize my view isn't necessarily right.
Yeah.
It's just my experience. It's just my perspective. Because if we can't add that to the mix there, then what ends up happening is, well, I'll try and understand where you're coming from. I'm still going to think it's nuts.
Yeah, I can walk a mile in your wrong shoes, wrongy.
Yeah, but if we're closed, we don't learn.
Right.
And if we're closed, we don't connect. And if we're closed, we're shut off forever. And these two came dangerously close at the beginning of this film to not having a relationship anymore.
Yeah, it was really close to Katie just packing up and going off to film school and never speaking with her parents again, because of how unwilling they both were.
Yeah. So the other side of the coin of what I was talking about earlier when I said, I want you to feel safe, respected, and loved, and I don't know how to do it. What do you need from me? If they're not asking to offer, I want to feel safe, respected, and loved with you. I want us to have a close relationship. Can I tell you what I need? And maybe you can tell me what you need. And we often won't frame it that way when we should. Like, it's okay just to say, here's the conversation I want to have, and establish the parameters.
Yeah.
We stumble over our words or we withdraw. Instead of just being really direct, you can be direct and kind and respectful, and they ultimately get there. She sees how much he sacrificed. He sees that she's a freaking creative genius, and her skills and her talents literally save the day.
Yeah, it turns out her knowledge of post-apocalyptic robot movies literally saves the day. Thank you, Mad Max.
Katie, this isn't a movie. We don't have a kill code.
We don't have a kill code yet.
And if you want to know more about building bridges, watch my Mended Light video on The Simpsons Get Therapized Homer and Bart's relationship.
So until next time,
the reckoning has begun.
Alan's scary now. And watch movies.
Machi, don't be scared.
Why are you clutching that large feral hog like it's a child?
That's not a feral hog. It's Machi.
What? Is that a dog or... Dog, pig, dog, pig, dog, pig, dog, pig, dog. Loaf of bread, system error.
Come on, guys, it's a dog.